Man. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, get rid of that. So yeah, this function keyword, man, this is too much stuff. It just clutters this up. ES6 introduced arrow functions. And at first you may be like, why? But for making anonymous functions in line, the shorter syntax is pretty nice. And as we'll learn a little later, they do behave slightly differently than doing it the other way. So the syntax is, don't need the word function. You just put argument list equal greater than an arrow. And that creates a new function. So you could use that anywhere that you would create a new function. You could say const do the thing equals arrow function like this. And it's the same as if we had said that. Same idea. I think I'm going to make a new pin for this real quick, actually. So if it doesn't have any arguments, of course, we could just say, do the thing. Here, this is in Slack. If you want to follow along, I will be switching back to the other one in a minute. Yep, totally works. So, like I said, it isn't exactly the same as using the function keyword. There is a slight difference that we will get into a little later, but it's very similar. Now, if it does take arguments, but it only takes one, you can actually leave the parentheses off. If there's only one argument, you can leave the parentheses off the argument list. If there's more than one, you need to comma separate them, you do need the parentheses. Furthermore, if the entire function is one line, you don't actually need the curly braces either. You could just do this. Curly braces are optional for a one-liner. Even better, there's an implicit return. So if it's a one-liner, this is just like writing return. It automatically returns that line. So if we wanted to do this version, let's see how much shorter we can make this. Okay, we still pass in the current meal. Don't need the parentheses because there's only one argument. Arrow. All we really want to do here is return mega, the name of the meal. So already a little shorter, but hey, liner, don't need the curly braces. Cool, cool. And a one-line arrow function implicitly returns that one line, the value of that one line. Yeah. Now, at the moment, since the syntax is new, this may seem like a bit much and like it's not making it easier but harder. But once you get used to it, it's actually a lot faster to read this kind of thing in many cases. We'll see examples, especially once we get into React, where using map and using arrow functions really makes things quite a bit simpler. So make one that takes an argument. We'll treat title like a Johnson. So I could say, yeah, Olivia, destroyer of worlds. Console log that thing. Yeah. Oh wait, it does console log. Right. I didn't have the arrow, right? Yep. Totally works. If it only takes one argument, don't need the parentheses. Or yeah, name, right. Gee, I wonder what name I'm going to put in there. You dig? And heck, it's that short. And I'm just going to put the string right here. So now I could say console log, say, heck, yeah. And that works because heck, yeah returns, oh, shucks, I didn't put a name in there, right? So we got Walker. Because now this returns a string, right? Make that clearer. One-liner with implicit return. So we use that in our map, and we get something a little tidier than an ugly old for loop For loops are so 2014.